I'm going to leave it in. I'm going to leave it in. We'll start with that. Just weird faces. One of my favorite comic strips of all time is Calvin and Hobbes. And there's one episode where, he's going to school for picture day and he hates picture day, of course. And he makes all those faces. And it's just, the whole panel is just different pictures of him making these great faces. Okay. Well, a little trip down memory lane right there. Jumping into Atrocity Exhibition, which is in no way related to Calvin and Hobbes. Not at all. But yeah, that's okay. A crossover. We'll call it a crossover. I put on XXX yesterday, going to work and coming back, and I forgot. As I listen to more and more albums and my hip hop catalog expands, it's harder to go back and listen to albums just because there's more of them and then less time. I forgot how good XXX is. And yesterday was kind of a pain in the ass because I had to work mandatory overtime at work, even though it was my Friday. And so that was frustrating. But I remember listening last night to the final track off of the standard album, 30. I must have bumped that like 6 or 7 times in a row, man. I love the beat and how the beat, it's got that like weird warped horn sound. It almost sounds like the horn itself is like yelling. And he's got that line in there, for the last 10 years, I've been so fucking stressed. Just the way he yells it, it was great. I was just blowing off some steam. Went to the store, got some pints of IPA, drank them all. A little hungover this morning. It's okay. That's okay. It was a good night last night. Blew off a lot of steam, listened to a lot of music. Danny Brown being one of them. Happy to get into Atrocity Exhibition. So many people have said this is an amazing album, one of their favorites of all time. Apparently it's pretty experimental. Some people are kind of worried that maybe I won't like it, but I've enjoyed the experimental stuff for the most part. As long as it's loud. When it gets experimental and quiet, then it sometimes is hit or miss with me. But if it's loud and crazy, typically I'm into that. I'm excited to hear this too, just because he and JPEG Mafia have a collaboration thing that they're working on. I'm going to be ready for that when that drops. Definitely doing that in real time. I guess that's it. I did not listen to Old. A couple of people told me, you got to listen to Old. You got to check it out. I was halfway saving it for a reaction if I had a chance of doing the reaction. Obviously, I did not do the reaction. Haven't listened to that one yet. So the only album I know from Danny Brown's XXX. And I guess that's it. This is a shorter album, I suppose. 15 tracks, 46 minutes. Cool with that. So let's drop in. Do I have all of them up? Do I have 15 tracks up? I'm just going to assume so. I did it all, but anyway, okay. First track is called Downward Spiral. XXX is kind of interesting in that it's kind of like this party album and all this shit, and then it takes a turn on nosebleeds and party all the time. And then it kind of wanders off. He starts getting into almost a reflective state where it's talking about the neighborhoods with the fields and, it's house, field, and field, house and scrap or die and all that. He kind of like starts reflecting back to where he came from, which was interesting. But I remember doing the reaction to XXX and going, okay, the fun is ending. The drugs are really taking hold. I want to see what happens next. And that didn't happen. So I think that's what this is. The first track is Downward Spiral. I'm excited. All right, let's get into it. Track 1, Downward Spiral, Danny Brown, Atrocity Exhibition. First time listen. Here we go.
I'm sweating like I'm in a rave. Been in this room for 3 days. Think I'm hearing voices. Paranoid and think I'm seeing ghosts. Oh shit. Phone keep ringing, but I cut that shit off. Only time I use it when I tell a dealer drop it off. Had a threesome last night, ain't matter what it costs. Couldn't get it hard, tried to stuff it inside. Had to fuck them both rock. Keep my fingers crossed. Been grinding on my teeth so long it's swelling up my jaw. And it's the downward spiral.
Trippy.
Gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out.
I like, it feels like one. If he feels lost, the production feels, it's clunky and it's bumping around, and it's definitely matching the theme of the track right now. I'm just kind of I'm enjoying this, and I want to like my brain's already trying to do like 3 things at once. I gotta shut it off a little bit. Fucking Danny, dude, he cracks you up. He's got some great lines, and I'm laughing at this. You know, to an extent, I should not be, right? Because this is all just terrible stuff. But the way he does it is pretty funny. Fucking couldn't get it hard. Tried to stuff it in soft. Had to fucking both raw. Keep my fingers crossed. Oh my God, man. Nothing on but my bathrobe and pinky ring. Your worst nightmare for me is a normal dream. If I learned anything, don't nod off with your fucking cigarette burning. It's crazy that if you ever watch the older videos of the older mattresses and the material that they use, and then a cigarette and how fast those things catch on fire, it's kind of crazy. Check that out sometime if you think about it. I really like the first line. I'm sweating like I'm in a rave. Been in this room for 3 days. I mean, that just is a perfect kickoff right there. Paranoid, think I'm seeing ghosts. You know, phone keeps ringing, cut that shit off. I'll use it until the top the dealer off. Let's keep going. I'm enjoying this. I'm already trying to like, you know, and the hook. I say keep going, and I get back into the lyrics. Got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. And you know, this is great already because he's lost, and he's painting the picture perfectly. So let's just. I'm gonna let it go. Well, let's keep going.
Everybody say you got a lot to be proud of, and how this whole time don't realize what I done. Cause when I'm all alone, feel like no one care. Isolate myself and don't go nowhere. Smoking blunt after blunt till my eyes burning. Hennessy straight got my chest like a furnace, and it's the downward spiral. Gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out.
That guitar sound right there, I really like. And it makes me think of somebody just kind of wandering around in the desert somewhere. I mean, obviously he's not out in the desert. But, you know, you see those movies where the person's, you know, lost out in the middle of the desert and there's no one around, or there's no food, no water, no shade, and they're just, you know, they're dying, and, you know. That song has that feel, even though obviously it's not that, but that's a cool track. It's a cool opener, man. And it's an interesting duality because there's really nothing to enjoy, but it's also very enjoyable. You know, like he captures everything that's going on so well with the weird clunky beat and the kind of distant sounds and just these feeling lost, man. You know what is tough too? Because when I'm all alone, feel like no one care. Isolate myself, don't go nowhere. And isn't that strange, right? You know, you've got these artists, you know, Danny or whoever. I'm sure all of them feel like this at some point. I mean, everybody does really at some point. Who have millions of fans, you know, popular people, you know, want to, you know them and all this other shit. But then there are these times when these people who have all these fans and they're alone and they feel like they're alone. And it's just weird. And it's this weird separation, man. You know, you hear stories about that too, like people who live in New York City or something like that. Like you're surrounded by millions of people, but you're all alone. It's strange. It's just so strange. And I'm not saying that Danny should not feel that way or anything like that, but it's just how it works. You know, it's kind of crazy. And honestly, it bums me out because you would think that people who, you know, movie stars, whoever, right? People who are famous and have all these fans, you would think, oh, well, that's one nice thing is that you don't have to be alone anymore if you don't want to. But they are sometimes, man. All right. Well, let's keep going. Let's move on to track 2. I like that track. I like that track quite a bit, actually. Downward Spiral. Track 2 is called Tell Me What I Don't Know. Oh, I didn't look at the production. Produced by Paul White. I think this one's also Paul White. I saw that. Yeah, I just failed to mention. All right, track 2. Tell Me What I Don't Know.
Street smart, PhD, dropped out for a slanging degree. Not on me, keep the doubles off me, cause we was living in hell, couldn't afford property. Little nigga getting fronted from OGs. OZ or Reggie bagged up in the pelly. In the school hallway on the burnout celly. Leaving out of class early, caught a sale for 20. How long will they last?
Cool.
Never ending race. Chasing cash.
Is this Danny? Is this also Danny? I mean, there's no one else listed as a feature. I have to suppose that it is. Yeah, features Danny rapping is surprisingly calm. His voice is totally different. Totally different. I think I vaguely remember getting caught off guard by this on Triple X. I kind of forgot. And I do remember yesterday listening, I was like, oh, is this a feature? Like, because the voice changes. I did want to look. Ounce of Reggie bagged up in the Pelly. What is that? Reggie's bad quality weed. Okay, Pelly is clothing company. Okay. I like this too. 9 on me, keep the devils off me. We were living in hell, couldn't afford property. And then never ending race, chasing cash. One lane, going the wrong way till I crash. Teacher find my sack, going nowhere fast. Breaking down the weed when the call got received. Is this actually true? Is this a true story? To an unorthodox adolescence, becoming a teenage father, poverty. Okay. At 18, I was selling dope. At the time, it was good. I was supporting my family. But once it got bad, it was all downhill from there. 17-year-old friend died at a liquor store while on his way to buy a fucking Swisher Sweet cigar. Wow. Okay, let's keep going.
Slice your tomato with your oars for the lettuce. Running through the sack of D, sorta like Jerome Bettis. Nah, I eat it, the outcome. Hook hit the block, hit the stash, and they found some. Block is all love for a bag of some pistols. Now we in the county writing letters, I miss you. Tell me what I don't know. Hook Ray came through, kicking down the front door.
I like the pickup here, man.
The court gave us all probation, now we smoke Newports.
His voice is totally different. Totally different, man. This kind of tripped me out. Sorry. It's just blowing me away. I wanted to say that I'm kind of surprised we're in a reflective state, but I shouldn't be, because this was the same sort of style that Triple X took, where it's the drugs and the parties and all this other stuff, and then he got into this reflective state. So maybe that's what happens. Maybe this is just the type of person he is. He looks back, and I mean, it's also the second song. I'm probably reading a little too much into it. I like this too. All we really wanted was some new Jordan and some bitches, flashing bankrolls in the club, taking pictures, thinking we were grown men, but really little, you know? Thinking you're an adult, but you're not. Jumping dope fiends that owe us for credit. Slice your tomato if you owe us for the lettuce. Danny and his crew will attack you if you are short on lettuce. Money, sure, okay. Slice your tomato is talking about the Adam's apple. Okay. Cool way to say I'll turn you into a salad. Okay. All right. Let's keep rolling here.
Shit is like a cycle. You get out, I go in. This is not the life of. Tell me what I don't know. Last night, homie got killed at the liquor store. Shot my nigga on the way to get a swisher. Breaking down the weed when the call got received. Tell me what I don't know. Hook Ray came through, kicking down the front door. Now we face a judge, got us sitting up. The court gave us all probation. Now we smoke Newports. Tell me what I don't know. Tell me what I don't know. Tell me what I don't know.
That's a cool track too. I liked that whistle sound. I kind of get two meanings out of it. You know, when the beat picks up, you got these kind of rapid drums, and it's like a panic and a hurry, almost like you're running from the raid that's kicking down the front door, you know, to bust these guys. And then, of course, you got the whistle, which makes me think of, you know, just police chasing people. Not that really happens in America very often, but other countries use whistles. And I think about, you know, movies from like World War II and the SS, and they've got their whistles and all this other stuff. But what I was also thinking was crickets. Like, it's at night and it's quiet and it's dark outside and the crickets are doing their thing and you're just inside, you know, this guy's like rolling his weed and doing whatever. He's got his guns out, and the crickets are going, and then boom, the front door busts down and the raid comes in. And I don't know. I mean, I assume that the whistle sound is more to represent the police, but it just made me think of crickets as well outside. Cool track. Cool start to the album already. I'm enjoying this. This is pretty neat. Track 3 is called Rolling Stone, featuring Petite Noir, produced by Petite Noir. All right, track 3, Rolling Stone. Little bass line in there makes me so happy.
You know I'm living like a rolling stone, but don't feel for me. You know I'm in my zone, so don't speak to me. And in my mind I just feel so alone.
Trippy, that little sound going back and forth there. That was cool in the headphones.
Just release me.
But I like that money. No, I'm just making rich. Even if she fuck me, I still know life a bitch. Born a nightmare, so dream. Happiness went upstream. Blame myself, had no control. Now I'm living with no soul. I'm walking on this long road. Will I come back, homie? I don't even really know.
I'm living like a rolling stone, but don't feel for me. You know I'm in my zone, so don't speak to me.
This is cool, man. This is a cool start. Very cool start. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Fuck, there's a bunch of features on the next track. You know, Downward Spiral paints a very clear picture of just being lost in drug abuse, right? And tell me what I don't know, the cops and all this other shit. But this is a very strong continuation, obviously. But this is kind of neat in that he's opening up more. And he even said in the opening track, Downward Spiral, he put it all in these songs because I don't know when I'll be gone, or someday I might be gone, something like that, right? Like, so it's basically saying, fuck it, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say what's actually happening, which is great. That's great. Feel like I've got money, but I'm just, we'll say, individual rich. Bought a nightmare, sold a dream. Happiness went upstream. Bought a nightmare, sold a dream. That's a really interesting one. And there's an annotation. I'm not going to click it. Blame it on myself. I had no control. Now I'm living with no soul. I have to assume that sold a dream being, got into the music industry and was all excited about that dream and then sold it all, got paid. But what if getting paid, he used it all to buy drugs, which is the nightmare that he bought. So he basically sold his dream for the cash, used that cash to buy the drugs, which is now the nightmare. And now happiness is upstream, right? Can't get to it. Blame myself. I had no control. Now I'm living with no soul. And so that little section right there, man, is a great section. That really stood out to me. I mean, what a great summary. Fuck. Fucked up. I'm on a road that never ends. Don't know opposite of sin. And then this part too is great too. Some people say, I think too much. I think they don't think enough. Because the reason why I enjoy that so much is you get into party culture, and partying is fun, obviously. But some people, I don't know, I feel like some people are just too short-sighted with it. They think that, I'm just having fun, I'm just having fun. Okay, sure, but as that continues, it's no longer a moment in time where you're having fun. It is now your life. Like what you do every day is essentially who you are. And if you want to have a different idea in your head of who you are, that's great. But if you're not actually doing that, then that's not who you are. So especially with party culture and having fun and, addiction of any kind, that's how you get sucked in. You think you're just doing it. I'm just doing it here. I'm just doing it. No, that you're doing it all the time. That's what you do. Even on Triple X, there's that track, want to party all the time. So with him thinking about it too much, it's probably the people, don't worry about it. It's okay. No. It's not okay. And he knows it's not okay, which is an awareness. And that's, step one. Weight heavy on my shoulders, living crooked like it's over. Can't be straight, can't be sober. Can't be straight, can't be sober. And here I feel like this is the struggle between, when you've got mental stresses, anxiety, worry, when the brain won't shut down, you know, it just won't stop spinning, you know, and people are telling him he thinks too much. So there's probably some truth to that. So then, you know, that's where the substance helps because it makes the brain shut up. So you get out of it, but now you're back into the cycle and now you're thinking again because you keep using this thing and you're caught in this rotation of, I need this to stop thinking, but then when I'm off it, I'm thinking about how I'm using that and I need to stop doing that, but now I'm stressing myself out again. Feeling like there's no hope, please don't my mind float. Fucked up. That's the way it is. I don't know who I should trust. All right, let's keep going. Well, and then I'll talk about the hook. You know I'm living like a rolling stone, but don't feel for me. You know I'm in my zone. So don't speak to me. That's an interesting portion right there. Don't speak to me. I'm in my mind. I just feel so alone. Just release me. I wonder if that's him talking to himself, his brain, his own mind. Release me. You know, brain, shut up. Leave me alone. I'll click the annotation. Let's see what it says. Same feeling of isolation. Phrase, yeah, Rolling Stone, yeah, Bob Dylan. Nora seems to be content in his isolation. He discourages social interaction, although he vocalizes in the lines and mirrors the way Danny writes. I don't write when I'm running around, only at home. Every night at 10 p.m. I start writing. Okay. All right, well, let's keep going. That was a long pause.
Self-medicate is how I cope. Leave my body so overflow. On the road that never ends. Don't know where I should
I like the vocals there, too.
No looking back. Head first in that deep end. Leather like a rolling stone. When I die, I leave alone. Getting high, I feel low. But we all know life goes on.
I'm living like a rolling stone, but don't feel for me.
Trippy, man. Trippy. Very cool. Very cool. This is neat, man. Yeah, the second verse, I was saying all that crap, and then Danny basically comes in and says it as well. Feeling like I'm not alive, but I know I'm not dead. Living lies, but can't hide. Deep inside, the truth dies. I feel like that's him saying I just have to say it out loud. I got to admit this to myself. I've got to do something to break out of this cycle. And step one, like I was saying, is awareness, admitting it, saying it's a problem, knowing it's a problem. Bought hope, can't get change. Lost my brain, going insane. Self-medicate is how I cope. Leave my body so it goes afloat. Don't know where I should begin. Feeling trapped, no looking back, head first in that deep end. Live like Rolling Stone, when I die, yeah. This outro portion is interesting. All that I know is to feel your shame because you can't let go. You can't let go. You drive me insane. But will I ever find my way? Go back to the beginning. I feel like this is some sort of knock at the brain. Like the brain not letting go, driving me insane. You know, just leave me alone. I feel all this shame, all this stuff. Like it's some sort of emotional, mental weight, burden that won't go away. Hence, the self-medication to cope with these mental stresses, which is, of course, the cycle. I already talked about all that shit, but that outro, to me, reinforces the idea that I had earlier of whatever they're talking about, it's just this mental thing, this voice that won't shut up. Just like I won't shut up. Really, though, Kendrick Lamar, Ab-Soul, and Earl fucking Sweatshirt. Wow. Produced by Black Milk. And that is, I think I was going to say the first time. I don't think that's the first time. That sounds familiar, but I don't recall from where. Maybe from Earl? Maybe. Kendrick Lamar. Ab-Soul. I really like Ab-Soul's outro on, not Good Kid, Mad City. The one before that, Section 80. Really like that track. And Earl. Cool, let's drop into this. Really dope. So far, we're 3 for 3 also with the hearts next to the track. So that's a good sign. Track 4, really dope. Yeah, here we go.
They say I got the city on fire. I ain't moving, that's a goddamn lie. Whoa. Really though, like really though.
Cool.
Really though,
That's
like
cool.
really though. They say I got the city on fire. I ain't moving, that's a goddamn lie. Whoa.
I like the record scratch that comes in here. Right there.
Really though, like really though. Still.
Let's talk about Danny's verse real quick. Half of it is about oral sex, ladies and gentlemen, of an aggressive variety as well. Sucking on it like she's getting vitamins and minerals. Oh my God, man. Now this opening portion here, you guys don't even know. All that talking then no show cannot tell me nothing. A lot of artists claiming this and that. What else you got? Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah. Rapping with that special flow, the way you're going to blow. Now, used to tote that calico and serve like John McEnroe. A calico is a gun, and I learned that from... It was either Duppy Freestyle or the Added-On story. Oh, it's a clothing brand. Well, goddamn. Oh, and the name of Submachine Gun. Okay, thank God. I don't know who the guy is, though. Danny walked for Mark McNair New York fashion show. Danny's gone from serving dealing drugs like legendary tennis player. Oh, served a tennis ball. Okay. So John McEnroe is a tennis player. All right, that makes sense. I done made it out the hood. Think I'm going back. I wish a motherfucker would. Where do you live now? Live it there. The last line. I wish a motherfucker would. Maybe he's hoping people are hoping he would fail. Okay, let's keep going. I'm sorry. I know get these long pauses. And this is something I still struggle with today. Talking about lyrics and trying to break them down versus, should I read annotations to get more understanding versus not playing the music, And I know you guys are watching because, hearing the breakdown is obviously the part of the video. You've heard the songs. Now it's just seeing somebody else experience them for the first time and try and break it down lyrically and stuff. But sometimes I get so focused on it, I'm like, oh shit, I've just been sitting here in silence. And I feel like, not the best content in the world, me staring at a computer screen, but, whatever. Okay, there's my apology. No more apologies. That was the last.
Second grade, took my mama wedding ring, took that bitch to show and tell. Now I'm married to the game to no avail. Rounded me for like a month. Now I'm getting high as fuck. Boy, you're trying to write me up, but now I'm a writer with ambitions of a writer and half the shit on my writer. I don't even want the fairness for us, the hennies for the sluts.
Life is like an appetite of truth and dare. I double dare your life to end in vain before the end is near. See, I can hear you crying silent sitting in the dark, holding crosses cross your heart. Sin is such a work of art. Watch out for the love lost.
Bet 1,000, shoot 1,000. Things a nigga do for thousands. Made 1 million counting sheep. Gave it all to public housing. Taking off the Abu Dhabi. Beaming up the motor Scotty. Talking to promoter Scotty. Everybody knows Scotty. Murder one you heard of him. The rev did the all day madness. Got it off the wipe it off the evidence. The blood on mattress. Big power, big stages. My zoo cannot fit the cages. This booth is not used to faking. My crew just love confrontation.
I loved those little hesitations in the beat at the end of the bar too. That was fucking cool. I just wanted to say that real quick.
I chewed the face off the laces. I moved away from the waitress. I chefed the pot that made poison. I cooked and tipped all the patients. My bitch is way beyond basic.
I know I'm a Kendrick dick rider, but he's the fucking best, man. He's the best. I'm sorry. I want to go back a little bit to Absol's outro, or not outro, but Absol's verse, because in this portion here, he got in, he took his mom's wedding ring to show and tell in the 2nd grade. Oh, fuck, dude. But his flow, like, I'm assuming it was intentional, the style that he used there, but it felt like it just kind of like fell apart. And I don't know. I don't want to criticize it because I feel like I don't have enough knowledge quite yet to like accurately talk about what was happening right there in the verse. But it felt like the verse just kind of fell apart because he kind of got out of the bar line, and then he really like got out of it, and then it was just like there was no structure at all, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And then it just kind of like went all over the place, and then he like got back in. So I don't know. It's like it made me think of motocross when you go dirt biking and you just like miss the turn. Yeah, you like blow through the berm and like, oh fuck, okay, now I gotta get back on the track. Anyway, there you go. Kendrick's verse was fucking cool. I like this bridge. Life is an appetite of truth and dare. I double dare ya. Life to end in vain before the end is near. I can hear you crying. Silence sitting in the dark, holding crosses across your heart. Sin is such a work of art. Huh. I wonder what he's talking about. What is he talking about? Suicide here? Religious narrative. Okay, yeah, sure. Sit in the dark. Well, okay. That's a lot of assumptions right there inside that annotation. Bet 1,000, shoot 1,000. Made a million counting sheep. Give it all to public housing. Everybody know. Murder One, you've heard of them. The Rev undid it. The All Day Madness. The Reverend? Like, did the Reverend forgive him for committing murder right there? Get it off, the wipe it off. The evidence, the blood on the mattress, big power, big stages. Huh. Big power, my zoo cannot fit the cages. His booth is not used to faking. My crew just loves confrontation. Move the weight from the waitress. I chefed the pot that made the poison. I cooked, then kicked out all the patients. My bitches. That section was interesting to me. Kendrick compares the creative process to cooking and selling crack cocaine. Okay. Wait, slang. Yeah, sure. I like that line. I chefed the pot that made poison. That's a cool line. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into Earl. Let's hear what
Wish a motherfucker would, Brown. I had to put my foot down. It's like I'm popping a clutch. Your hate palpable, your jaw full of dust. You gon' keep talking or we locking it up. And I'm the type of nigga it ain't never been an honor to judge. You a mouse that the Falcon picked up. So disrespect, getting checked like the top of the month. I was a liar as a kid, so now I'm honest as fuck. And I never passed my mama no blunt. It kept my head straight. Listen, dead weight, never been a problem to dump. Look, I just broke up with my bitch cause we ain't argue enough. I keep it dirty as a split, my uncle Alchemist puff. I'm at your house like, why you got your couch on my chucks? Motherfucker, fucker.
I like that. Why you got your couch on my chucks? That's pretty good. Good line. Interesting verse there from Earl. Interesting verse. And I still haven't good hood. I wish a motherfucker would. This whole, going back to the hood. I wish a motherfucker would. I had to put my foot down. It's like I'm popping a clutch. Hate palpable. You gonna keep talking or we locking it up? That's a good line, man. That's a person it ain't never been an honor to judge. You're a mouse that the Falcon picked up. So disrespect will get you checked like the top of the month. Oh, good. I didn't really catch that on the first listen. That was good. That's a good little spin right there. Will get you checked like the top of the month. That's good. Very clever. Earl, I like the way Earl writes, man. He's a sharp motherfucker. I was a liar as a kid, so now I'm honest as fuck. Just broke up with my bitch because we ain't argue enough. That's an interesting line, too. Deadweight's never been a problem to dunk. I just broke up with my bitch because we ain't arguing enough. Let's see what the annotation says. Deadweight is a heavy... Oh, here we go. This is... this is going to be great. Deadweight is a heavy or oppressive burden that's attached or a part of you. Thus typically harder to get rid of. It's possible this girl was holding Earl back and he had no problem dumping her, even if they argued. Well done, genius. Well done. This line, I keep it dirty as a spliff, my uncle Alchemist Puff. Alchemist is the producer. Puff, I wonder if it's a double play there on Daddy. Yeah, okay. Spliffs are cigarettes that have both marijuana and tobacco. Okay, that makes sense. So like mixing up all the beats and shit. This little birdie line, you know, this golf, strike a birdie on, I'm gonna hit your mouth, hit you in the mouth of the club. Wake up early on him. Getting out of the house is a must. It's like a sweaty pit, sweaty, sick. Counting your dubs. Either that or you're gonna catch me on a mountain with monks. What's the Lowry? Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is an all-star. Oh, Lowry. Point guard. I don't know shit about basketball. I never watch basketball. Okay. All right. Oh, right. That's the end of the song. That was cool. That was a good jam. I like that one quite a bit. Oh, fuck. We're 40 minutes in already. 4 tracks. All right. Let's get back to it. I do feel like I am a little bit more absorbed into this one for some reason. Like I'm just kind of crawling through it, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it quite a bit. All right, next track is called Lost. Track 5, produced by Eyez. Shorter song, so 2 minutes. Let's drop in. Lost.
I'm like Kubrick with 2 bricks and hoes on the strap. Off a 2-piece, a 2-pick, I flick and I preach. About how I'ma get this money out here up in the streets. And the caddy rhyme nicely on between in the sheets. And the way a nigga work make a grip in a week. I'ma chill with this freak, snip a gram and a half. Plus her pussy juicy, Jurgen Shalimar curl back. While she drawing me up afro, the blood then back. Jiggle the giggle, her booty can do nothing but laugh. Lost in the sauce, but a nigga still dipping. Lost on the sauce, but a nigga ain't flipping. Cutting up the hall like the yard ain't this.
I don't know what to think about this one yet. I don't want to say I dislike it. This is a very different sound. That vocal sample looping is very distracting to me right now. But I'm wondering, how am I going to feel about the song on the 4th or 5th listen? You know, some of these songs you drop in and the sound is completely, it just catches me off guard. So, not going to say I don't like this one. It's definitely throwing me off. I feel very off balance right now. Because it's a weird... You know, at first I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Because he's just, you know, drops in with the line about, I'm like Kubrick with 2 bricks. Stanley Kubrick being the movie director. It's nice I actually know a reference for once. And he makes weird movies, right? He makes strange movies. And so that strange vocal thing, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then it just kept going. And then you got the horn coming in, and Danny's just like tearing off. So it's very strange. There's like 3 different things happening, and I feel like none of them really overlap at all. I was having a hard time paying attention to lyrics too. In the caddy, run Eyez in between the sheets. Now I'm just gonna sit here and read the lyrics. Sniff a gram and a half, plus her pussy juicier than Shalom Crowback. While she draw me a bath, roll a blunt, then passed. Jiggled and giggled her booty. Couldn't do nothing but laugh. Credit card separating white lines on a mirror, roll a $100 bill. Now my sinus all clearer. Flat screen pouring on, watching Ace Asa Akira. Isn't that? I thought that was like a anime or something. Akira, isn't Akira like a movie? Anyway. Nothing on but my pinky ring, sniff when I get up, on the balcony drunk, like the world is mine, staggering inside with my robe untied. Lost. You know, I forgot the name of the song. Maybe this whole being off balance, maybe that's the point. Let's keep listening. Let's finish this track out. Now that I'm remembering the title of the song, Lost, maybe I'm supposed to feel off balance. Maybe this is all just supposed to be just fucking weird. What was the... So fuck waiting around. I like how he doubled his lyrics on this one. He's like harmonizing with himself on the vocals. So fucking around. I'm about to get it. Dog, I'm trying to eat. So I'm staying in the kitchen. Hunched over the stove. Got a water whip it. Lost in the sauce, but still stirring. Packing up the bags, but ain't tripping. Lost in the sauce, but still dipping. Lost in the sauce, but I ain't flipping. Cutting up the hard like the yard ain't filling. Lost, lost, lost. All right, let's keep going.
I'm like Spielberg with ill birds and hoes on a curb. Gotta screw loose, I'm cool, mentality to stir. But still smart enough to hit this bitch with a rock. And with some Rico pussy, hoe, I can't be unlocked. But I still get the head if you swallow with bones. I'm a landwood nigga, I done traveled the world. Made a name for myself, you can serve on the cup. Now my words went for bird like a front you a sip. Made $1 million in a year and I style ain't trick. But to put my niggas out, make $1 million for them. Show you that you can't make it without acting like them.
Huh. These lines here at the end of the second verse, man. About to put my people on, make $1 million for them. Show that you can make it without acting like them. That's really interesting, especially when I think back to whichever track it was where I was talking about party culture and how, you know, people tell him he thinks too much, but I think people don't think enough. And there was some other lines too where he's kind of talking about other people and how they're behaving. That's a great line. Show that you can make it without acting like them. Do you, little guy, go out there and just get it. Got to have a hard back because these guys going to whip it. That's a great line too. Got to have a hard back. They're going to whip it. Interesting, man. Interesting. Mentally disturbed, but still smart enough to hit this bitch with a rubber. Fucking Danny, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Trippy track. Not gonna put a heart next to that one. I'll see how I feel about it off of additional listens, man. I gotta listen to that one more. But it does feel lost in the sense. But, you know, there's something else going on here because he's talking about being lost. But lyrically, there is some clarity that's happening. You know, the production's just really disorienting. But lyrically, even though the song is called Lost, he's not right here. I feel like he's not really lost. Like, I feel like maybe he's lost, but he sees a point of light, like somewhere, a direction to go, kind of a thing. So, okay, technically, I'm still, you know, lost in that. We'll say the desert reference, like I was talking about earlier. You know, you're lost in the desert. I'm still in the desert. It's still hot. I don't have food. I don't have water. I don't have shelter. But I see something over there. I'm going to go that way. Like, I have a direction to go now. That's the impression I'm getting from this. So fuck waiting around. I'm about to get it. I'm trying to eat. So I'm staying in the kitchen. Let's keep going. That was kind of a cool track now that I'm sinking into it a little bit. Track 6 is called Ain't It Funny, produced by Paul White. Drop it in. Track 6. Trippy. Trippy. Cool.
Verbal couture, parkour with the metaphors. The flow house of horror, dead boulder with metal doors. Prince bitch, 6 cents with a nose strip. Mind sky dice, living bumps in the cockpit. Locksmith and hip hop, appraisal the wristwatch. The rocks about the size of the team of Chris Rock smoke. Suck out the mic, prototype for Adderall. Your work killing fiends, cause you cut it with fentanyl. So much coke, just a sniff, need a ski lift. Flip your table over if you cut it with the bullshit. Nosebleed on red carpets, but it just blend in. Slamming pictures, feeling like my chest being sunk in.
This is a cool fucking track, man.
Ain't it funny how it happens?
This is a cool track.
Ain't it funny how it happens?
I like the production. I like the beat. This is fucking loud too, man. We're gonna keep rolling to verse 2. This is great. This is a great beat. So Ain't It Funny so far, favorite track. Probably even more so than Really Doe, if you can believe that shit. This one's like banging. This one's fucking awesome. And I'm liking what he's talking about. Verbal couture. I don't even know what that word means. Parkour. I know parkour, but couture. I don't know what that. I'll have to look that up. I need to educate myself. The flow house of horror. Dead bolted with metal doors. Grinch bitch. 6 cents with a nose drip. This guy does a lot of cocaine, doesn't he? A lot of cocaine. Mind skydive. Sniffing bumps in the cockpit. Locksmith of hip hop. Appraisal. The wristwatch. The rock's about the size of the teeth in Chris Mock's mouth. Oh, man. Your work killing fiends because you cut it with fentanyl. So much coke just to sniff. Need a ski lift. I go skiing. And I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, we had a killer winter out here in California, up in Tahoe. We got so much snow in Tahoe that they had to take the snowcat and push snow out from where the ski lift goes because it was so high. It was actually higher than the chairs. And for those of you who've seen ski lifts or know about them, those things usually ride pretty high. Now, sometimes they get a little low, like if you crest a little ridge or something like that, and that's where it was. But I'm riding a ski lift, and I look over to the side, and there's snow above me, like, you know, because they had to channel out the snow. That's how much snow was up in Tahoe. It was unbelievable. That was such a great year. God. And last year we got all the snow in December, and that was it. Nothing. Nothing else after that. Nosebleed on red carpets, but it just blends in. Snapping pictures, feeling my chest being sunk in. I wonder what that's about. Must have been one he was like, yeah, at a red carpet event or something like that. Huh. Live a fast life, seen many die slowly, unhappy when they left, so I try to seize the moment. Funny how it happens. The joke's on you, but Satan the one laughing. Ain't it funny how it happens? I can sell honey to a bee. In the fall time, make trees, take back them leaves. Octopus in a straitjacket, savage with bad habits. Broke, serving fiends, got rich, became an addict. Ain't it funny how it happens? Nose running right now, could you pass me a napkin? Managed to somehow have the upper advantage. Panic when the drugs are gone and nobody is answering. Ain't it funny how it happens? No way to mask it. A lot became has-beens, rolling up that 100 bill till they cash in. I really like this part right here. Think it's going to last. Going too fast. It's very easy to think when something's happening and you're in that moment, you got money coming in, that it's going to last, right? It could all just stop. It doesn't seem like it possible at the time, but it could all just stop. And I mean, anybody who's been fired from a job or whatever, you know? Let's keep going. And the beat's kind of like haunting, like you're being chased by something.
Ain't it funny how it happened? Upcoming heavy traffic, Satan, you slow down, cause you feel self-crash. Staring in a devil face, but you can't stop laugh. Staring in a devil face, but you can't stop laugh.
This is a fucking killer jam, dude. Killer.
That's why we stuck in the mud. Tank with the drug use, out of alcohol abuse, even if I wanted to. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Ain't it funny how it happens? Ain't it funny how it happens?
Trippy. That was my favorite so far. That was a great fucking song. I love that beat. That beat feels like just pursuant. Like it's just chasing you down. Reality is chasing you down. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. You know, it just, that fucking beat, man, that was great. That was really, really good. I like Ain't It Funny. I want to listen to it again. Right now, let's listen to it again. Right now. Track 7 is called Golddust, produced by Paul White. Let's drop in. God, Ain't It Funny. It's fantastic.
Bustin' up a flake looking like Golddust. Nigga get a whip of that sun cut. Bloody Mary's at brunch. From last night still drunk. Cause I had a raw, nigga, that was my lunch. And I got a hunch. Roll another blunt. Cut some hoes up, nigga, let's do some bump. Residue on my mustache. How could it last? Roll $100 bill, nigga, blow cash.
I like this hook right here. It's fucking cool. And it's even building a little bit too. It's cool. I really liked his track on Triple X DNA. It's in my DNA, you know, because my pops like to get fucked up the same way, you know, DNA. Cool song. I like that one a lot too. And he's kind of saying the same thing here. I will say with this track, I like the beat. I like the flow. I like everything that's going on. But in terms of like what he's saying, it feels unnecessary for the album, just in the sense of, okay, we've kind of already covered this. As someone who repeats himself a lot, I'm an expert on knowing when other people are repeating themselves. So there you go. That's really my only criticism of this track is like, okay, you know, I know. You get into this bit here, you know. You used to have to buy drugs, and now people just give them to me. They think they're showing love, and that's what's up. Kind of fucked up. He's addicted to drugs. Obviously, he wants to get out of this. Obviously. I mean, he's expressing that idea very clearly. I don't know how much he tells his friends. But, you know, earlier I was talking about party culture and all that shit. There's also your own kind of identity, right? And you get into this thing where, you know, sometimes I feel this way because I like drinking beer. But I could stand to drink less beer. I don't need to drink as much beer as I do. You know, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. Drinking IPAs doesn't help with that at all, right? And sometimes I'll go see friends or whatever. It's like, oh, I got you some beer. And it's like, oh, cool. You know, and it's like, I don't really need to drink. But because I drink beer and people know I drink beer and they know I love drinking beer, that's kind of my thing, right? And so it's weird. Like Danny's saying, they think they're showing love. And it's like, well, shit, now I kind of feel obligated to drink the beer because they got me the beer. You know, even though if I said, oh, no, I'm good, and I have before, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. But it's weird how you get into those little cycles as well. And so with this guy, man, especially with fucking coke or whatever the hell he's doing, yeah, kind of fucked up, trying to get out. Now I do it way more than I used to. Have no clues, all the false alarms where most would have died, but my tolerance strong. Been cursed all along. Whole family of addicts floated through my bloodstream. Like I gotta have it. Tried to quit a few times, but it didn't work out. This is wild. This is wild, man. Huh. Hide behind. I like this too. Caught up in the whirlwind. Life took a tailspin. Hide behind designer shades. Life of sin. Lost control. Don't have a soul. Myself, I don't know anymore. Numbing up with drugs to suppress these feelings. Actually, I take it back. I was saying this song is unnecessary, but he's really opening up here too. I mean, this is about as honest as you can fucking get. Let's keep going. I like this little musical chorus too, right? I mean, he doesn't have a singing chorus, but the music is doing.
Mimosas for breakfast. When I take home from Texas, got good karma, filled up with sauna. Got the Hermes towel while I'm up in the sun, smoking all kinds, tasting like corn. Ass so fat, think she get it from my mama. Came a long way, had spots and spots. Now I'm thought porn stars like a jerk of a wife. Spin a rack with a bird on, bitch take a shirt on. Take a couple miles, ready wanna have a twerk on. Guess who the judge? Why they hold a grudge? Nigga got out and got it out the mud. Will I long way? Will I long way? Will a $100 bill, nigga blow cash? Will I long way? Will I long way? Will a $100 bill blowing money fast?
That song almost feels like Ain't It Funny Part 2. It's like, it feels like a continuation. I mean, the beat kind of has that speed to it, that anxiety to it. And you get to the end, will it all last? Will it all last? I'm blowing through cash. I'm blowing money fast, you know? He feels it. Reality is coming. Reality is coming. He can feel it. This is fucking getting really good. You guys, this is getting really good. We're into it now. We're into it. Track 8 is called White Lines, produced by The Alchemist. This is not the first time I've heard The Alchemist. But I don't remember the first time or the last time either. Okay, anyway. Track 8, White Lines. I wonder what white lines could be referring to. I have no idea. He's probably thinking about like the white lines that they paint on the side of the road, right? So you know where the shoulder is. That's probably what it's about.
Smoke so much I think. Drink so much I think I make her walk the plank. Bitchin' on my rank. I'm high. Oh my, yo bitch. It's in the jolly getting in the thighs. Rolling back the
Great sound.
When that's over, we gon' hop another sack. Put some wax on that. I'm smack. Do that. Who that? Hitting my phone trying to get this dick tonight. Now we down the road. When the bruises out your bed, the hide your house. You know how we go. She chose, we roll. Uh-oh. Lines and lines of coke. Heartbeat and hope it ain't my time to go. Taking out the snow. No way, no, no, no way. No way, no way, no, no.
We are off the fucking rails now, man. This is getting wild. This is getting wild. You guys, I was wrong about white lines. It's not. He's not talking about the painted lines on the side of the road. He's talking about cocaine. So I don't know why I find that so funny. I laugh at all of my jokes. This beat, first of all, I love like that rich kind of synthetic sound in the background. That wow, I always love that shit. But this like scribbling electronic sound that's mimicking his vocal performance, or maybe he's, his vocals, he's laying on top of it. However they plan that out. Maybe the beat was made first, or anyway. But it's almost like he's outside of his own fucking body in a sense, lines and lines, heart beating, hope it ain't my time to go, taking to the store. No. Like he can almost see himself in the moment. Like, no. I'm so out of control, but I can't even literally right now stop myself. And it's almost like with his vocal performance in this track and the sound effect that they're using for the production, it's almost like he can hear himself telling himself, stop. But it's just this distorted thing, and he's so out of control, he can't even like stop on his own. This is wild. This is so fucking wild. Let's keep going. This is a great track.
Now I'm on the prime. When I'm off that mileage, I can't turn it down. How about you? And you, and you, and you? I'm trying to ease all of your pussy. You wanna have some fun? I ain't never met a hoe I can make come. Put my tongue on that. Get that, spit that, hit that. And all this big singing, oh my God. Lines of coke.
This is wild, man. This is wild.
Heart beating fast. Oh no.
One thing I want to say, I'm really enjoying this, obviously, but I also feel badly for enjoying it. What was it? There was some video, and it was a video talking about artists and how they suffer, and when they just dump out all their emotions and all their feelings, and they just essentially torture themselves to make a great album, great song, whatever, all the torture that they put themselves through and express these emotions, these thoughts, these fucking wild lives, and how hard it can be for them sometimes. And the video was kind of talking about that, and it was some country song that the video was talking about, but these guys were singing, I don't know, like the guy's wife died or something like that, and it came to, they finished the recording, it went really well, and the producer, it might have been Rick Rubin, or no, yeah, it might have been him, came in and said, okay, let's start working on the next one. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? Like, did you hear what they just played? And you can obviously see they're very upset and emotional, and they're like, yeah, you made a great song. We got to keep working. And so the whole video was kind of breaking down this idea of, shit, these guys are going through some stuff, whatever it is, whether it's heartbreak, whether it's drug addiction, whatever's going on in their lives, but you're using it as a form of entertainment, and yeah, you made a great song and it's going to sell millions, and so we should be happy. It's just weird, right? I think of this as making me think of the guy, I forget his name, the main guy from Sublime, because he was all strung out on heroin in the studio, high as fuck, playing the guitar and singing these songs, and everybody knew, and it was like, yeah, but we're making a great record. And I think he fucking died like 2 weeks before the album came out or something like that, and it just blew up. He had a wife and a baby, and it's just gone. It's wild. And so I want to pause, because I'm listening to these songs and they're incredible, very powerful. But I'm also like, fuck, I hope Danny's okay. I really do. I hope he's okay. I mean, this came out 6 years ago. He's still around. That's good. I hope he's fucking cleaned up. I hope he's got control of himself now. And maybe the album will get into that. Maybe, that's how it concludes. I don't know. Let's move forward. We'll see. Track 9 is called Pneumonia, produced by Evian Christ. Evian? I don't know. Track 9, Pneumonia.
Made 30 bands in 30 minutes. Before I count it, I done damn near spent it. Put a brick on ya and some brick on ones. Flow sick, nigga, call it pneumonia. I'm on ya. Made 30 bands in 30 minutes. Before I
I love the way he yells check. Who is Rick Owens? A kilo of cocaine, a brick, is about $30,000. Yeah, sure. Therefore, you can buy Rick Owens' jacket. Okay. Oh. Wow. Put a brick on ya in some Rick Owens. Huh. A jacket for $30,000? No. No. Absolutely not.
Party stains on my ball, man. Slip that pussy up just like low, man. If that coke burn my nose, I'ma complain. Made 30 bands in 30 minutes. Before I count it, I done damn near spent.
Trippy beat too, man.
Put a brick on ya and some Rick Owens. Flow sick, nigga, call it pneumonia. Got a half a pound of artichoke. Scale broke, so we eyeballin'. Her titties out just like New Orleans. Mardi Gras, we party hard, she off the sauce. My dick head, she celebrate like the world ends. And she can't be my girlfriend. Only fuck her on the weekend. Mama found some racks and some dirty change. Told her keep the money, take them to the clean. Go and throw her back like I'm snatching purses. Half a key to run inside my fucking verse. Like a surgeon with that scalpel, bring that truck to life. Bounce that ass for that pussy, got an appetite. Geeked up, purple pill, just like Mike and Nike.
Something that's interesting about this song too, I keep expecting the beat to drop. You know, it does that build and then it just goes back. It's like a reset instead of a hard hit. And then you get into this pneumonia. Flow sick. Call it pneumonia. I'm on ya. You know, I'm not really saying much about the lyrics here because it's pretty straightforward. He likes cocaine. He likes having sex. He likes smoking. He likes drinking. Jesus. This is wild too, man. And it's kind of wild to hear this after Ain't It Funny, Golddust, and White Lines because those three tracks really gave this impression of I'm being chased down. Reality's coming for me. I can't keep doing this. You know, it's all going to fucking end. And now here we are. Still doing it. Still going. Let's finish this track up.
I'm smoking dope. I'm smoking dope. Got a half a pound of artichoke. Scale broke, so we eyeballin'. Her titties out just like New Orleans.
Trippy track, man. Huh. Pop a pill, just like Mike and Ike's. That's a candy. I know that reference. It sent me straight to the moon. Crib in the forest, deer in my yard. 07, I got locked up on a charge. I got 4 bank cards. Looked like I gotta thank God. Going through a bag like I'm snatching purses. Half a key of raw inside my fucking verses. Huh. This is wild, man. This is just wild shit. Where's verse 1? I keep... This, I want to click on this. Guy came in this bitch with a new gun clip looking like a fucking mile long. So what's this about? Unreviewed annotation. Describe himself as an OG rapper. Oh, okay. Yeah, we know what a clip looks like. I thought maybe he was talking about something that happened, like somebody just rolled in with a big ass fucking gun. If that shit hits you at close range, you're calzone, which is a type of, folded pizza. Huh. Powder stains on my ball main. What's that? Brand new jeans. Okay, expensive jeans. Huh. All right, well, let's keep rolling. Pneumonia. I don't know how I feel about that one. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But kind of like I was saying with, what was it? Golddust, I think? Where it's like it didn't necessarily feel like it had to be on the album. I kind of wonder about Pneumonia too. So let's go on to track 10, which is called Dance in the Water. Let's see if there's a flow through and see if these songs link together a little bit. Title is upset again. I did it wrong. Sometimes title is weird. If you pause it right at the end of a track, it'll go into the next one, but it's not playing, and then it starts to do this weird shit. Anyway, that's my story. Great story, I know. All right, track 10 is Dance in the Water. And it hits. This is crazy, man. This is going to be a wild album to listen to from top to bottom without the pausing between tracks.
Can you work it? Can you work it? Break it out and just drop it loud. You deserve it. You deserve it. Get it out and let it all down. Shake
I like that thick bass in there.
Bend over and touch your toes. You've been waiting. You've been waiting. Well, plan, get down on the floor. Dance in the water and not get wet. Not get wet. Not get wet. Dance in the water and not get wet. Not get wet. Not get wet.
So the annotation here for this hook, because I don't know what it means, dance in the water and not get wet. This line has a long history. It's best known as an Ice Cube line from his track Ghetto Vet, but he got it from a Mac 10 line on Faux Live, which Cube featured on. Ultimately, it comes from a Parliament track, Aqua Boogie. Dancing in the water without getting wet is doing something without having to endure the consequences. Okay. All right. Man, there's not a lot of annotations on this first verse. Can you work it, break it down, just drop it low, you deserve it, get it out, and let it all go. Shake it, break it, bend over, touch your toes, you've been waiting, get down on the floor. I know lately you've been feeling like you want to let loose, no debating, do your thing. Oh, you know what? No hating, whatever. It's all on you. Put it on me, let me tell you what we're going to do. This feels like his inner voice. The side of him that tells him, no, it's okay. You can do, it's okay, you're okay, you're okay. You know? The side of him that it keeps him in this cycle. You know, you deserve it. Let it all go. Shake it. Don't break, bend over, touch your toes. You've been waiting. Maybe it's been a while since you've done anything. You've been waiting. Get down. I know you. Lately, you've been feeling like you want to let loose. There's no debating. Do your thing. Just do you. This feels like his inner voice. The one that keeps him in the cycle. All right, let's keep going.
It's a wedding. Let me see you just get it. Get busy, back it up and just quit playing with me. If you want it, it's all your thing, go ahead and own it. When you get it, don't give it to her right, cause you earned it. Here we go now. Don't stop what you're doing, don't slow down. Don't take that. Let P. Diddy remix on a mixtape.
So with the idea of you're doing things without enduring consequences, and then you've got this voice telling you, it's okay. No, you're okay. That's another part of those cycles, right? Like you do all this shit, whatever, and you're like, oh man, I gotta stop. And then you do. And then you're like, well, no, it's okay. We're okay. It's weird. Is you with it? Let me see you just get it. Get busy. Back it up. Just quit playing with it. If you want it, it's all yours. Go ahead and own it. It's all yours. It's okay. When you get it, give it to him right, because you earned it. Here we go. Don't stop what you're doing. Don't slow down. I don't understand this, like P. Diddy remix on a mixtape. Take That is one of P. Diddy's more popular ad-libs. Yeah. That's an unreviewed annotation, but who knows? Maybe that makes sense. Better get back. They don't know you could do it like that. Kind of hit that. Dance in the water, not get wet. Trippy, man. Let's keep going. Let's finish this one up.
Got a fever. All the remedy is you and I need ya. He a monster, he a creature. He a tie you up there, eat ya. Dance in the water and not get wet. Not get wet. Dance in the water and not get wet. Not get wet. Dance in the water and not get wet. Not get wet. Dance in the water and not get wet. Not get wet.
So this third verse, bring it back now, get into it, just like that. Make a player want to say his wedding vows, like, I'm going to do this forever. I'm going to marry this. I'm going to, earlier it's talking about, go ahead and own it, do you, it's okay. Now I'm so into this, don't stop now, don't keep it going. Right now, showing off. Make a player want to go say his wedding, like, marry this addiction. Got a fever. The only remedy is you, and I need you. A monster, a creature ties you up and then eats you. To me, this song is all about that voice, and that probably keeps the addiction cycle going. And the fever is probably from withdrawals. It's been a little while. addiction, the urge, the withdrawals kicking in maybe, or he's just, I gotta, it's okay. You can, and just, dance in the water. Not gonna, that's a fucking interesting song. I'm glad I clicked that annotation so I could understand what that meant, because that totally changes the song. Totally changes the song. Well, doesn't change it. It makes it so I understand what he's talking about. As a kind rapper once said, if you know, you know. And now I do know, despite not understanding a lot of what he was talking about on Daytona. Or that fucking story of Adidon. Oh my God. Killer diss track. Moving on to track 11 featuring Kalila, produced by Paul White. It's called From the Ground, track 11. Wild, man.
8 bars with a safety pin. I deserve the finer things. Told myself back then when I used to ride a Schwinn. Now I'm on a tour bus going places I ain't never been. Wrote my rhymes down on a paper bag. That was way back. Having dreams of a Cadillac. Dog, I had to bounce back. Lock the nigga up. Why they do me like that?
I said it earlier. I'm gonna say it again. It's gonna be wild listening to this album top to bottom, no pauses. Like, this is just another total shift in sound, and it's fine, but it's totally throwing me off. Totally throwing me off. I want to know what he went to prison for. They locked me up. Why they do me like that? Danny said, I caught my second case loitering with some weed, but it violated my probation. But I ran, and It violated my probation, but I ran and I didn't go to court. I just ran for at least like 5 years. Oh, wow. But once I got caught, I had to do 8 months. When I violated my probation, I got my second case and I was scared. I had warrants, so I couldn't really slang like that because I didn't want to go to jail. I was broke in the hood. I had nothing else. So I just started going back to studying music and trying to become a rapper. Interesting. I hate the weed laws in this country. They're so stupid. So stupid, man. It should be legal. Half the time it should be mandatory because people are so... I don't know. It's so easy to go on the internet and watch videos of people driving. Just like raging assholes, man. And especially where I'm at in California. All the time. Bill Hicks, who's a comedian, he died back in the 90s. He's got this bit about how not only should it be legal, it should be mandatory. And he does this bit, people are honking the horns at each other. Shut up and smoke this. It's the law. Oh, man. Good shit. And so so that makes this whole verse, a lot more understandable. He's back out in the hood. Now we're out in the hood, and the nightmare is us going back, probably going back to prison. So I won't go to sleep till I finish that. So he's working on becoming a rapper. Sleep is a cousin of death anyway. Now I see better days. Ain't trying to miss a minute, a second, hour. Living on borrowed time. Can't think about tomorrow because it's about today. And you want to take my place. Let's get it. This hook was nice. But the song is so well. Let's keep listening. Maybe I'll settle into it more.
A lot locked up, wishing they was like you. Got a letter from my nigga saying he be out in June. Been down for a minute, and every single sentence thing ain't been the same, so I'm missing my nigga. Staring at the ceiling, thinking how far I came. Was trapped in the storm, but I made it out the rain.
Huh. I enjoy that track, but it feels out of place on this album. Not that necessarily matters, but one thing I have experienced with albums before is some of the track listing, the order really matters. There's a Tool album called 10,000 Days, and I had a hard time with that album because it starts out fast, and it really starts jamming, and then it kind of backs off, and it picks up, and it backs off. And it was very kind of just jerky, like just all over the place. So I ended up making a new playlist, same songs, just rearranged the order, and I ended up liking it a lot more. All that to say, this just kind of drops in out of nowhere, really. Now, I do enjoy the track. I'm noticing, you know, he's talking about his buddy that's in jail. He's waiting for him to come out, all this other stuff. And then he's got this thing, you know, staring at the ceiling, thinking how far I came, was trapped in the storm, but I made it out the rain. The next track is called When It Rained. So that's got me curious. When it rained. So he, you know, talking about getting out of the rain, you know, he makes it, gets out of the rain, but now When It Rained. So maybe this track is to support the next one, the concept. I don't know. We'll find out. Track 12, When It Rained, produced by Paul White. Let's check it out.
Back, go dangerous, on that cat, go tracks man, hit it from the back, DJ's up, bitch let me bang, Bruce every day, we run that train, put that thing in her combos, only way you hang is where I knows, be where I say ain't no tropes, y'all niggas like y'all ain't like that, hang up with the devil off ain't your dash, for that money ain't God we trust, all for victim for greed and lust, ain't no wonder how far we gon' grow, ain't no change, then how we gon' change, no umbrella, we stuck in the rain, dark lines hanging all over our head, no sunshine and no shots be lit, light no squares and them dots be red, let your best friend get shot in the head, Jake, oh you ain't know that.
Jesus.
When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. Exodus, I might forget. Bitch, when it's time for your West, we do. You ain't heard like this before.
Nice.
They don't do it like this no more. They get on that, they get on that, they get on that, pop on the flop. You ain't heard it like this before. They don't do it like this no more. They get on that, they get on that, they get on that, pop on the flop. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that.
Dude, Danny's going so fucking fast. So fast on this. It's crazy. Great beat, too. I like how it picked up. Really picked up. This is a cool track, When It Rained. Very, man, it's just wild, dude. Wild. Go dangerous on that cat. Go tracks, man. Hit it from the back. DJ Assault, bitch let me bang. Bruiser Brigade, we run that train. Put that thing in her caboose. Only way you hang is with the news. Beef with us, it ain't no truce. Y'all lame, y'all ain't like us. Hanging with the devil off angel dust. For that money, in God we trust. That's a great line right there. Great line. Basically, the idea of, you know, in God we trust is printed on the money, and oh, you know, that's supposed to be like a, I don't know, it is kind of weird that it's on the money, you know? And I feel like the people who view it as a good thing, it was like, no, it shows that, you know, we're a good Christian nation and blah 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 blah. But I kind of see it as more of like almost a symbol of saying our God is money in this country. And so that's a great line, kind of putting that in there, for that money in God we trust, because really the money is the only thing that they're going to pursue, right? They're going after the money. All fall victim for greed and lust. Who are you supposed to trust when guns gonna bust? Like it's the end. Got to keep an eye on your friends, because everybody's hungry in them streets. People rob your grandmother for something to eat. You know, it's fucked up. That's how it be. It doesn't seem like shit's gonna change no time soon in the city of boom. Doomed from the time we emerge from the womb. Drugs we consume. Here we go. This shit's wild, man. This is a great song. Really great song. This is what just blows me away. Better duck when you hear the gunshots go off. Pop off when them shots go off. Knock off, trying to play me soft. No baseball, better run home. Hit your lung, blood on your tongue. Let's keep going, because I like the sound of this track. This is just fucking, it's just crazy to me, man. Like, it's a completely different world. It's a completely different world. And I want to speak on that. I mean, I want to, like, I wish I could make it stop. I don't know. I don't know. Fuck. Anyway, all right. Let's not get hung up with that.
Niggas that piss down, no fly sound. Call, I go trick when you hit my hound. Beef with him, don't hit my phone. Reverse everybody, ain't no sound. Coming from the city, where them goes be like. They call slipping, your ass be hurt. That's for certain, your ass be hurt. Young niggas out there putting that work. I don't use squirt for a pair of joints. Whole damn city probably got a couple warrants. When they come to jail, always stay chronic. Cause they don't give a fuck, they just go pop. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. Better duck when you hear them gunshots go off. Pop off when those shots go off. Knock off, you try to play me soft. Clock silent, your face, dog.
You ain't heard it like this before. They don't do it like this no more. Like, get up. Like, get up. Like, get up on the floor. I really like the beat on that one, but fucking Danny's flow is just crushing on that one. He's going so fast. And what's cool is hearing him execute that with so much speed, but he still has the enunciation in there. It's very crisp, very clean. You can hear what he's saying. But man, he's cracking that shit off fast. And it's always very impressive to me because half the time I can barely crank out a sentence without screwing it all up, man. When It Rained. That's a good track. So now, I'm looking back. Dance in the Water, From the Ground, When It Rained. From the ground being between Dance in the Water and When It Rained is very jarring to me. There you go. Today, track 13. Today, produced by Paul White. Where are we at? Oh, okay. So we got 3 tracks left, over an hour and a half in. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Track 13, Today. Cool sound.
Watch who you ram. Gotta watch they mouth. When them guns come out and them shots ring out, you know what they about. Watch what they say. Watch what
There's
they
a very cool sound right here.
When a hook come around, them kids come down, they'll tell on you. It's snakes in the grass getting trapped by rodents. Potent, we smoking, I leave the choking. Hoping you focus so dogs they notice. For a flashlight when you're off like roaches. Hop in a poacher with chrome for focus. Nose longer song, maybe a bike go boating. Lightning bolts rip through your torso. Rain and blood after that thunder. Mama crying, children wonder. But this is the life that we all succumb to. I say you never know when your time to go. I say you never know when your time to go. So damn right I do. I say you never know when your time to go. I say you never know when your time to go. So damn right I do. I say you never know when your time to go. I say you never know when your time to go. So damn right I do.
This is an interesting track in the whole scope of the album. I've talked a little bit about the mental stresses, and and Danny's talked about it. Obviously, using drugs to cope and all this other stuff. Obviously, there's a drug addiction issue. Obviously, there's a cycle. Obviously, there's a desire to not have this cycle and not rely on drugs. But now, with this track and When It Rained, you're getting the mental stresses. I feel like he's doing a good job of really just putting it all out there. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm addicted to. I feel like I'm lost in sin. I feel like I'm buried in all this shit. I can't get out of this cycle. Talks about how, people give them drugs for free now because they're just trying to show love and spending all this money. And there's that song, Dance in the Water, I think it was Dance in the Water. Kind of seemed like it represented his internal voice, the voice that tells him it's okay, you can keep doing this, it's not a problem. And now you get these other tracks, When It Rained and Today, of just the external shit. So you've got the internal shit that's driving so much of this drug addiction, this drug consumption, this desire to chase sin, as he calls it, sex and drugs and drinking, all this stuff, to wash out his internal voice. But now he's bringing in the external elements, the external stresses that weigh on his mind. Like he said, he thinks, or people say he thinks too much, but man, this fucking opening verse, dude. I mean, how do you not think about stuff like this? This is a challenge for me. I think it's probably a challenge for a lot of us. Watch you around, you gotta watch their mouth, watch some guns come out, shots ring out. You know what they're about. Watch what they say, watch what they do. When a hook come around, then kids come down, they're telling you it's snakes in the grass, getting trapped by rodents. Potently smoking, I'll leave you choking, hoping you focus so dog take notice. For a flash of light, run you off like light roaches. Hopping off porches. Oh, okay, so a flash of light. Shot, a gun flash. Sure. Chrome 44. Nose long as song made by Mike Bolton. Lightning bolts rip through your torso. Raining blood after that thunder. Mama's crying. Children wonder. But this is a life that we all succumb to. Makes a person want to go cut off his phone, Cops killing people every day. Well, I mean, it's the N-word there, so not just people, but black people, right? Cops killing black people every day, like protocol. Watch the TV, turn on the news, makes a person feel like he'd listen to the blues. In the hood with that Arm & Hammer, getting them pampers for baby mama. That was good. I like that line right there. I did that. Hood flick us. We're in the slammer. Now your baby raised by another man, bruh. That, you know, that's one thing that this journey through hip hop has really helped me consider. You know, we talk about incarceration and all that other shit, but just the idea, especially with weed laws, right? I was bitching about that a little bit earlier. There was a moment in time a couple months back where I thought about it. What if I had weed on me? I got pulled over, and I mean, I'm in California, so whatever, right? I can't do it because of my job. I have federal restrictions. I can't do it. But just the idea of having weed, getting pulled over because your taillight's out. And then, you know, maybe you're not really paying attention, you're having a rough day, and there's just this little bit of paraphernalia, right? Like on the floor, whatever. The cop sees it, step out of the car, they pat you down, you got your fucking baggie on you. Oh, great, going to jail. This idea of having to go to prison for, we'll say, a year or two or something stupid because it's just weed. And now I can't fucking raise my son. I mean, the prison, honestly, I don't give a shit about the prison when it's compared to that, to 2 years of not being with my son. 2 years of hopefully he'll come visit on the weekend and we'll talk to each other between a piece of fucking glass for a half an hour. I mean, oh my God, I can't think about it. It fucking infuriates me. It makes me want to cry. It just, all of these emotions start pouring out. And that's just me imagining that. Fuck. Man, it kills me. That kills me. I can't, I'm getting all worked up. I'm getting worked up over thinking about that. And there are people living it. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people doing that right now. I mean, what that does to a person's brain, dude. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. And okay, I got to keep going because I will just start legit crying because it hits me that hard. Everywhere you go, got to keep that tool because you don't want to end up happening to you. Cure for cancer, cure for AIDS makes a person want to stay on tour for days. So this track is incredible because it's bringing in all these external stresses, these external things that just, I have to believe, pile onto Danny's mind. And so how do you balance it? You know, even with the desire to want to stay clean, how do you mentally cope with all of these things? How? And then they'll say, oh, well, just take some pharmaceutical drugs. Take this to feel better. No. That's not the answer. They only say it's the answer because these are approved drugs that giant corporations get to sell and make money off of instead of other people. Wow. That was a hell of a tangent right there. I do want to talk about the chorus too. Today, I say you never know when your time's going to go. So damn right I cheated. And I think the cheated is cheated on himself, cheated on his promise, cheated on, okay, I'm going to clean up, I'm going to get sober. No, I cheated. Fuck it. And really, maybe that's the whole thing. Just fuck it. Okay, let's keep going.
Watch where you go. Watch where you at. Cause goons on attack, then that's a fact. You don't want it like that. Nigga sit body like every day. Nigga masked up like masquerade. Bruce or brigade, nigga take this fade. Or get marked out like crossword game. For a little name, nigga pop your chain. Playing no games, he Victor Arcade. Trading your life for a new pair of J's. A-OK with them AKs. Broad daylight, nigga do a relay. Step behind cars when you're hitting to spray. You don't want beef, get some souffle. Sitting in the beamer with your light skin babe. Fuck all that tough shit, I'm trying to get paid. You ain't about money, nigga, you the same way. End of the day, nigga, tell a new slave. Trust my nigga, you don't wanna go that way. Too late. I say you never know when your time to go. I say you never know when your time to go. So damn right,
There's a great line at the end of this. He's talking about everybody, for a little name, they'll pop your chain. And all these things, right, that the people do in the hood. Just for some fucking scraps, basically. For a little bit of crumbs when you're trapped in the slums. Goons on attack, and that's a fact. You don't want it like that. Anyway, it's going through all this stuff, right? You guys heard it. Fuck all that tough shit. I'm trying to get paid. You ain't about money. You the same way. End of the day, I don't know how to... It's the N-word. Jail a new slave. How do I say that? I don't know. But, well, there you go. This line right here. I'm not going to say it out loud. In jail, the new slave. And so the idea to me that I think he's trying to express here is this: the hood is the new jail. Well, not the new jail. The hood is the jail. And they're the slave inside of that jail, running around, doing all these things, you know, screwing each other over for just the little crumbs that he's talking about. I think. Well, actually, there's an annotation. Let's click the annotation. 13th Amendment is often thought as having brought an end to slavery, but it contains a very notable exception. Oh, that's right. That's right. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as punishment for crime. That's right. That's right. Okay, so that's what he means. That's what he means. And that makes sense. You don't want to go that way. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm glad I clicked that. I didn't realize I was making myself look so stupid. Let's read this annotation because this will be pretty good. A combination of mass incarceration and explicitly legal forced penal labor in the U.S. has led to what many consider modern-day slavery, and Danny Brown warns his peers that getting involved in activities such as drug dealing and gangbanging comes with a cost, their freedom. You know, if I was in jail for anything, I don't think I'd really be too worried about working. That's just me. Our justice system, I think, is just a fucking joke. It's a joke. These rich and powerful people, nothing ever happens to them, but you get pulled over with a bag of weed like I was talking about and you go to jail for 2 years. Fuck that, man. I mean, the whole thing is upside down. It's rigged against us, in my opinion. Cops are part of that problem. Not all cops. I do not subscribe to the idea of all cops are bastards. I don't think that's true. But I think overall, the policing in this country is not in our favor. It is against us. It is not for us. Because if the justice system in this country were equal, pretty much every fucking politician would be in prison right now, as they should. Pretty much every financial hedge fund manager would be in prison right now for theft, because they should. I mean, there's so many people that run the country that should be in prison for life, in my opinion, because they're just stealing and robbing and destroying everything they can for their own personal gain. It's incredible. And this has been a hell of an experience going through Atrocity Exhibition, man. Fuck, we're almost 2 hours in. There's 2 tracks left. Track 14 is called Get High, featuring Be Real. And I believe Be Real is the guy from Cypress Hill. I believe. Let's listen. We'll see if I'm right. Get High. Track 14, produced by Paul White, featuring Be Real. Let's check it out. Oh, I know this reference on the opening line here. So I'm blowing on some Miles, Something Kind of Blue. Miles Davis has an album. Is it Something Kind of Blue or just Kind of Blue? I can't remember the name of it. It's been a long time since I listened to it. That's like some of the only jazz I've really actually listened to on my own.
I'm blowing on some Miles, Something Kind of Blue. The kind of dope you swear can make dreams come true. Sticky, icky nugs, real furry butts. This my party pack, call it the Cotton Club. Thailand at the door, hot boxing hotels. Security knocking, what's that smell? Ornate with a fortress, sports and pontos on porches. Half a nigga shaking like he got epilepsy. Right, did it twice, then I pass it to the right.
Oh my God.
Mary Jane, you be the love of my life.
Say you had a bad day and want
Yeah,
the stress to go
that's
away.
him.
Just roll up and take the pain away and get high.
Your girl just left you, you just got fired. Your car acting up, you need new tires. Your bills all late, any day your phone off. Fuck a cop of 8, take the load off. Baby mama tripping, take asking you to court. They wanna lock you up, but your daughter got New York.
Trying to chop you down, so roll up the trees. That's a great little line. I'll just say it instead of waiting for the end. So, you know, I thought this album was gonna be more of like a downward spiral kind of a story, and I guess that does exist, I think, a bit on the periphery, but we're definitely coming out of it, landing in a different spot than I thought we would be. I thought it would be like the crash, or, you know, I don't know, the realization and coming clean. And I don't know. I didn't really know where it was going to go, but this is a cool, I mean, there's one more track, but this is a cool conclusion just because it does take everything that we've heard and it kind of lets me zoom out a bit from my judgmental state of I think I did pretty good of not like sounding judgmental about Danny or whatever, but people who would say, oh, you know, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't, you know, blah, blah, blah. This is a great track of explaining why people smoke pot. And I don't have a problem with it. As long as, it's like anything, as long as you're being responsible with it, you're not ruining your life, you know, there's nothing wrong with, in my opinion, smoking some pot to just, especially, I think Danny Brown can probably appreciate this, to just tell the brain to shut up. Please, please, just be quiet. Be quiet. Because it's one thing to have to deal with life stresses and all this shit that's going on, and you're going through it and you're dealing with it and you're managing it and whatever. And then the end of the day, you get home and you sit down, and what happens so often, right? The brain just keeps going. It just keeps going, and it's like, just stop, please stop. That's one thing I like about video games, and I think this is why people enjoy shows and movies. It tells the brain to shut up. Focus on something else, something positive or something relaxing or entertaining or whatever. So, because, man, the brain sometimes will not stop. So I'm liking this song in that, in my opinion, this is putting pot in a good light. I don't know if everybody's going to agree with that, but I'm sure there are people who say, no, this is terrible. Like, no, this is, yeah. Self-medication is not always terrible, in my opinion.
Problems are today, smoking to the face. It's only for a moment, but the problems go away.
Say you had a bad day and want the stress to go away. Just roll up and take the pain away and get high.
And I like how chill it is, too. It's so stripped back, too, right? I suspect that Danny Brown and Be Real both smoked during the creation of this song. Call me crazy. I know I'm out there. That's that's probably a fringe idea to subscribe to, right? But I think they probably did some smoking. Great track. I like that one quite a bit. That's a good smoking jam right there. Good smoking jam. Final track, Hell For It, produced by Paul White. Track 15. Here we go. I'm curious to see, how do they conclude this Atrocity exhibition? Hell For It, track 15.
Holy Spirit,
Cool
when
sound.
I look, I cannot see reflection in the mirror. I broke it with the Judas and I think I see it clearer. These niggas want what mine, but I be damn if I'ma give up. Stuck up in the hood, playing rap will get me out. Mama about to lose her house, gotta figure this shit out. Used to catch the bus at 12, just to hustle for some product. In the kitchen with my uncle, beat the pot like a pinata. But rock up with the product, used to hide it in my closet. Type of shit that have a fiend crawling on his carpet. Scraping up and safe, chance to catch a 12-hour bus to and ride. Sleeping on the floor in studios, asking God why. But never got deterred from the voice I heard inside. To myself every day, the greatest that's alive. I'ma give them hell for.
Oh, nice, nice.
Until it's heaven on earth, my nigga, I'ma give them hell for whatever it's worth, my nigga, I'ma give them hell for it.
This is fucking badass. This is a great track. I was listening to it, listening to Danny. Basically, I was like, oh, cool, we're getting into a story here. And the beat was like, it seemed like it was waiting. And I didn't really know where it was going to go, if it was going to drop or whatever. And I enjoyed what it was doing, but it was very minimal. And it was just waiting, like a cat, you know, like ready to pounce or something, I guess. I don't know. This is fucking cool. This is really cool. There were some lines in here I did not fully understand. He was talking about, well, Holy Spirit, when I look, I cannot see reflection in the mirror. Broke bread with Judas, and I think I see it clearer. These people want what's mine, but I be damned if I'm going to give up. Stuck in the hood. So he's talking about, yeah, he's stuck in the hood, trying to get out. His mom's going to lose his house, catching the bus. I like to beat the pot like a piñata. Baraka with the product. That's Street Fighter 2. Used to hide in my closet type of shit that have a fiend crawling on his carpet. This line. Walking over carcasses of artists in my garden. Nice with the bars. Even the beat begs my pardon. Carcass of dead body. Oh, Danny is insulting his peers, insinuating they are not his equal. Also praise on the common rap brag of killing the beat. Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay. Got me mistaken. Muslim salami bacon. Okay. I was on the defense, no offense taken. Smoking on them raisins from the bay, they taste amazing. Cajun kicker flavor. I like this a lot. All the time I heard I wouldn't make it. I was writing shit that was so damn amazing. When half these little people were still watching, that's so Raven. I was out here hustling, scraping up and saving just to catch a 12-hour bus to New York, sleeping on the floor in studios, asking God why. Never got deterred. Heard the voice inside. I'm gonna give him hell for it. When it dropped into that hook, that was fucking great. Let's keep going.
So they hold a nigga back for the way that I act. People scared of doing business, thinking I smoke crack. I react immature to anyone talking smack, cause where I'm from, respect the only thing that you have. Grew up virtually poor, reality's a mask. So my task is inspiring your future with my past. I live through that shit so you don't have to go through it. Stepping stones in my life, hot coals, walk with me. Listen when I speak, every time talk with me. Couple screws loose, you don't wanna start with me. Got it from Motown, feel David rough and pain. Wanna cry right now, so I'm wishing that it rained. And it's so fucked up, that's just how this shit be. I just wanna make music, fuck being a celebrity. Cause these songs that I write leave behind my legacy. I'ma give them
fucking A, man. Fucking A. Dude, this is great. This is fucking great.
My nigga, I'ma give them hell for whatever it's worth, my nigga, I'ma give them hell for it. I'ma give them hell.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. What a great fucking closer. That was phenomenal. That might be my favorite. I loved Ain't It Funny. That beat on Ain't It Funny was incredible. But the beat on that one's really good too. That second verse was fucking great. I'm going to kind of skip through the first portion of the second verse here. For the way that I act, people scared of doing business think I'm smoking crack. I react immature to anyone talking smack because where I'm from, respect the only thing that you have. I love this. My task is to inspire your future with my past. I lived through that shit. You don't have to go through it. Stepping stones in my life, hot coals, walk with me. And I love this too. Listen when I speak. Every time talking with a couple of screws loose. Don't want to start with me. Got it from Motown. Feel David Ruffin pain. I don't know. David Ruffin was one leading the Temptations. Oh, okay. Because I'm knowing I'm the best. They compare their skills to sales. Tell myself every day, no, this shit ain't real. Radio don't make you ill. They get a hit and they feel themselves. Respect for lyricism is the game. Ain't none left. I like that a lot. A lot. And it really does always, that debate always boils up, right? Especially when people start talking about Drake, right? Sold all these records and all this shit. And I always see that debate back and forth between the people who hate on Drake and the people who are defending him and stuff like that. So I'm really happy to see Danny saying, fuck sales, fuck the radio. It's all about just making kick-ass songs, man. I just want to make music. Fuck being a celebrity. because these songs that I write leave behind my legacy. Fucking A, dude. You know, enjoyed Triple X. Really enjoyed this. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I like Danny Brown. Now I love Danny Brown. That right there, that was like the clincher. You know, and it's not like there was ever any doubt in my mind and if I enjoyed his music or not. But, yeah, I'm sure we've all gone through that, right? Like, oh, yeah, they're cool. And then there's just something, a song or an album or an interview or where we go, yep, that guy's fucking awesome. Danny just locked me in right there, man, for sure. What a great album. Holy shit, dude. Great production. You know, people were saying it's experimental and it is different, but you know, not too wild in terms of the production and stuff. Today was really good. Really good. When It Rained was really good. Dance in the Water, I've got a heart next to. White Lines, Golddust, Ain't It Funny. That 3-track run right there was really fucking good. Ain't It Funny, Golddust, White Lines. That was really good. Lost, I remember being a little thrown off. I got to listen to that one a couple more times. Really, though, that was a good track with Kendrick in there. Earl, Absol. Tell Me What I Don't Know, Downward Spiral. Yeah, dude, this is fucking legit. Legit. I really enjoyed this. Hell For It. That was a great track. I think Ain't It Funny was still my favorite, but man, Hell For It is right next to it. Maybe they're tied for first. We'll see where it plays out over the weekend and Monday, Tuesday when I'm listening to this more. We'll see what ends up being my favorite. Hell For It is phenomenal, though. That was a great jam. Damn, 2 hours and 7 minutes. Woo! On a 45-minute album. Huh. I hope I wasn't. I felt a little helter-skelter here and there, like just kind of, I don't know, not like in a funk, but I just felt different for whatever reason. But I hope it worked out. Atrocity Exhibition. Fuck yeah. Great shit. Man, I'm really looking forward to. I guess Danny's got a new album, but I don't know if it's the one with Peggy or not. They announced a collaboration. I don't know when that's happening. I haven't really heard anything. I think if Danny... Fuck, I don't want to say if Danny drops a new album, I'll listen to it in real time, but I kind of want to. If it's the one with Peggy, absolutely, that's going to happen. Absolutely. And I think, shit, I might as well listen to Danny if he drops one. I should do that in real time, huh? Probably. Makes sense. Good shit. Dude, you know, you don't really hear a lot about Danny Brown, in my opinion. Not that I've got, you know, my finger on the pulse of online discourse when it comes to hip-hop and the artists and stuff like that, but I feel like he kind of flies under the radar just a little bit. I know this album is huge. People talk about this one all the time as being one of the greatest. I really like this one. I got to listen to it more before I really kind of get a firm opinion on how good it really is. But I just feel like, in general, his name doesn't really come up that often, it seems like. And I kind of wonder why. Because he's crushing it. He's crushing it in this album. His flow. What was it? Which track was it? When It Rained? I think when he was just tearing through that shit. He was going so fast. And he's funny. He says some shit that cracks me up too, man. And you know, that's what I wanted to say. That's why I'm still talking. I kind of wanted to, concluding just idea on the album and how it felt to listen to it. And really the impression I get is, and I did talk about it on track 14, but Danny's really just laying it all out. This is who I am. So it is I am the atrocity. Here's my exhibition. Here's all the shit that I was, and fuck it. Really, in a sense, And if he feels that way, I hope he doesn't feel that way too strongly in the sense of, viewing himself as an atrocity. Because there's more to Danny than that, especially this idea of listen to my song and walk with me through this life so you don't have to do the same shit I did. And okay, all right, that's enough. 2 hours 10 minutes, that works. Good album. Good album. We'll see ya.